Journey guitarist Neal Schon is calling out Avenged Sevenfold, and vocalist Arnel is threatening to leave the band, all due to a performance over the weekend at a festival in Brazil that left some fans of the band dissatisfied with that performance. Now, what happened apparently, according to Neal, is that there were some volume limitations placed on their performance by Avenged, but the problem is that people aren't really complaining about the volume being too low. People were taking issue with vocalist Arnel performance. Here's a little bit of that. Now, as for Arnel, he really is a fantastic vocalist, seems like a great guy, and for any vocalist of any band, if you're really up there singing live, just as Arnel clearly is, not every night is going to be a great night, and there could be a variety of reasons that happens, but he's an elite level singer, bottom line. So some vocalists have off nights. They could have a cold. You don't know what the circumstances are behind the scenes, but I've always felt like he's a great singer. And so just because there's a moment in your set, I didn't see the entire show, but just because there may be a moment in your set where you're not singing as well as fans might expect, it doesn't mean that you're not a good vocalist. But for Neal Schon, he has now taken to social media to tell a different side of things, and he's placing the blame squarely on Avenged Sevenfold, who has nothing to do with this. And he did call them out on social media. Here's what he had to say. He shared a video from the stage at their recent performance, responding to the backlash they had faced online. He wrote, "All this absolute garbage, fabricated bullshit about Arnel. Does this look like nobody had a good time? I'm asking you. All fabricated, owned, and bought blogs. Bullshit." He then added further, "Arnel, don't listen to these blogs. They're all bought. You've kicked ass." Now, he goes on to say that apparently they were somehow limited in their production by Avenged Sevenfold, who were the headliners at the festival, which he said was a bullshit move. And it sounds like he's like laying the blame on Avenged Sevenfold for some people being unhappy with their performance. Here's what he said about that. He wrote, "We found out much later that we got extremely limited by Avenged Sevenfold. That means hardly any sound can get out of the PA to the audience. It's a bullshit move." He added, "Check out the audience. They loved it. The rest of it is fabricated crap." But on the point of Avenged Sevenfold, the volume being lower and that somehow, that's not what people are saying. They're commenting on Arnel's vocals, which I showed you the clip earlier. But as for Arnel, he seems to really be upset by this, and it's unfortunate because he's clearly a very good vocalist, and everybody has moments in performances that are not their best. It's like an athlete. It's like a quarterback going out and being an elite quarterback. Yes, even Tom Brady had not the best of games on occasion. So I don't think this is something he needs to step down from the band from, but he obviously takes his craft very seriously to the extent that he posted this on social media, saying he will leave the band if enough fans demand that. He posted on his Facebook, "Once again, thank you so much everyone who came to Journey since February this year. I appreciate you all so much. And not only that, every time that I'm on stage with the band, I feel this immense gratitude, humility, and honor. I am very aware of this." He then linked to the video of his recent performance, adding, "No one more than me in this world feels so devastated about this. It's really amazing how 1,000 right things you have done will be forgotten just because of this. And of all the place, it's Rock in Rio. Mentally and emotionally, I've suffered already, and I'm still suffering, but I'll be okay. So here's the deal here and now. I'm offering you a chance now, especially those who've hated me and never liked me from the very beginning, to simply text go or stay right here. And if go reaches 1 million, I'm stepping out for good. Are you game, folks? Let's start. God bless all of you, and thank you once again to all of the fans and friends who believed in me since day one." And in the comments, it's just a ton of people telling Arnel to stay. It's like, dude, everybody has performances that are, and I got to tell you, I've met so many talented musicians, and they are really their own worst critic, because you'll talk to a musician, I'll be like, "Man, that was a great show from my perspective." And they're like, "No, it was bad. It wasn't good. You know, I messed up at this part." And I'm like, dude, I didn't even notice. And, they really take what they do serious. And you can tell that from Arnel, but he shouldn't be feeling bad. Again, anybody who's watched Arnel over any period of time knows he's a great singer. Not every show you're going to have is your best, but it's just unfortunate that people are just trashing him over that. Now, as for Avenged Sevenfold, It's clear they have nothing to do with this at all. I don't really know why Neal said that. It's like this, I think he's trying to, I think maybe he felt like his vocalist was upset and he's just trying to pump him up a little bit, but it's at the expense of Avenged Sevenfold here, who doesn't have anything to do with this. They're a great band. They're great guys. And so you have Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse, who they brought Ronnie out on tour, and he's speaking up and defending them, and this is what Ronnie had to say in response to this story. Ronnie Radke wrote, "Avenged are literally the nicest people ever. Zero egos. F this guy." And you have Shinedown guitarist Zach Myers as well opening up about this, and he is saying as well he loves Avenged Sevenfold, as pretty much anyone I've ever spoken to would say the same. I mean, the reality is, if you're an Avenged Sevenfold fan out there and you're watching this, they are great people, and they're just really good, and I just don't understand what they have to do with this. But here is what Zach Myers had to say. He wrote, "I'm friends with every single person in Avenged Sevenfold, and I know Neal Schon. And Neal should walk this statement back. Arnel is one of the best singers out there. He had a rough night. Take accountability and don't blame others. It's ridiculous." And I hadn't even seen what Zach said there before I said what I said earlier, and it's just spot on. I couldn't agree more. Everyone knows Arnel's a great singer. Why should he feel bad about this? People have an off night. We don't need to bring Avenged into this, and it's just not a good idea anyways, because they're such a beloved band. They have so much support. People know that they're not like that. They're not out here trying to boss people around or throw their weight around. That's just not how they are. So anyways, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, I really appreciate y'all tuning in so much. So be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.